Phones down and heads up, because The View is live.
We, as a country, failed our children. This shouldn't happen.
Gun showdown. From the White House to Florida town halls, shooting tragedy survivors demand action from D.C. Is this the tipping point?
Please, Mr. Trump, these are things we have to do.
Dressing down J-Law. This photo has social media slamming Hollywood sexism, but Jennifer Lawrence has a much different take on it. Oscar winner Monique is live on The View to share how she's taking on an entertainment giant.
I am asking that you stand with me and boycott Netflix for gender bias and color bias.
Her battle to expose and stop Hollywood's double standard. And Anna Navarro's back to guest co-host. Let's fire up Hot Topics with Whoopi, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Meghan McCain. Now, let's get things started.
To guest co-host. Welcome back. And we wanted to start with a big congratulations to the U.S. women's hockey team who won gold for the first time since 1998. After beating Canada in a nail-biter that ended with a shootout. It was amazing. If you weren't up, it was extraordinary, I'm telling you. And in the same note, we also want to say a goodbye to a man known as America's pastor, the Reverend Billy Graham, who passed away yesterday at 99 years old, and who said he wasn't afraid of dying because he was looking forward to talking to God, which I kind of liked. So, on a totally different note, yesterday was a day of activism and action against gun violence, and it included the White House opening its doors to people impacted by gun violence for a listening session where parents and students from Parkland High School had so much to say. Take a look.
Should have been one school shooting, and we should have fixed it. And I'm pissed, because my daughter I'm not going to see again. It's not about gun laws right now. That's another fight, another battle. Let's fix the schools, and then you guys can battle it out whatever you want. But we need our children safe.
Woke up to the news that my best friend was gone. And I don't understand why I could still go in a store and buy a weapon of war. How do we not stop this after Columbine, after Sandy Hook? I'm sitting with a mother that lost her son.
They listened. Will they hear what folks are really saying? Maybe.
Maybe. I was surprised that the president, even after this listening session, seemed to suggest that teachers that the answer is having more guns rather than less. And he mentioned that teachers should carry weapons. And teachers are there to teach our children.
Can I interject really quick?
Sure.
She actually tweeted this morning that that's fake news. What I said was to look at the possibility of giving concealed guns to gun-adept teachers with military or special training experience, only the best. 20% of teachers, a lot, which would now be immediately fire back if a savage sicko came into school. They're talking about people with military training, so it's not all teachers in all schools.
Teachers. He recommended that
with military
that they train.
Special training
experience who
have training with weapons and guns.
No, but what he said was, because I listened to it as well, he said that they would train teachers in all sorts of military styles. He's not hiring military vets, Megan, as teachers.
I just say,
back and forth yesterday, and he said he's against it, not only as a Republican, not only as a senator, but also as the father of four.
He's against
it's going to be a raging.
Well, let's see what Florida Senator Marco Rubio who attended the CNN town hall in Florida said about this very thing. Because the audience kind of took him to task. Watch the clip.
Can you tell me right now that you will not accept a single donation from the NRA in the future?
The influence of these groups comes not from money. The influence comes from the millions of people that agree with the agenda.
My daughter, running down the hallway at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, was shot in the back with an assault weapon, the weapon of choice.
Yes, sir.
Okay? It is too easy to get. It is a weapon of war. The fact that you can't stand with everybody in this building and say that, I'm sorry.
Sir, I do believe what you're saying is true. If you are 18 years of age, you should not be able to buy a rifle, and I will support a law that takes that right away.
Fantastic.
Now, people say we should give him credit, but that's his job. He's supposed to show up, but who didn't show up is Governor Rick Scott. And will he take their words to heart, do you think?
Look, I don't know. I'm disappointed as a Floridian. I live 30, 40 miles from where this took place. I was at the BB&T Center yesterday just before it happened. I am disappointed Rick Scott, the governor of Florida, has not met with the students. I'm disappointed that he wasn't there yesterday. I think it's important to show that you're willing to take the heat. It's a low bar. But yeah, showing up is part of the job. Now, that being said, there is still 2 weeks left in the legislative session in Tallahassee and Florida. It's going on. So he's got 2 weeks to show something. Okay, I wasn't there, but I'm going to change the laws. I'm going to lead changing the laws. So, you know, let's see what happens in the next 2 weeks. I think it's very important that all of this listening, all of this talking, all of this engagement, all of this activism is not just left there. It turns into actual change.
Did you see Wayne LaPierre, who was the head of the NRA, speaking? And, of course, they pushed the fact that the kid was not mentally healthy and that mental illness is an issue. And so I looked up a few things, and Trump's 2019 budget would slash 30% of the funding from the National Institute of Mental Health. The massive cuts to Medicaid, which is a top source of health insurance for poorer people who are mentally ill, is being cut. He has rolled back a rule making it more difficult for the severely mentally ill to obtain firearms. So, you know, they talk out of both sides of their mouths. On the one hand, yes, it's the mentally ill. On the other hand, we're not helping any of the mentally ill. So why would we believe anything that comes out of Trump's mouth?
Well, one second.
I'm the only NRA member at the table, so I had problems with that CNN town hall last night, and I give it up to Dana Lash for taking the heat and going in there and being called a murderer and being screamed at. I was very impressed with what the president and the group of, the tragic victims and their families who met with the president was very calm. It was very measured. I thought the conversation we had on this show yesterday with the students was very calm and very measured. When we are screaming at each other that you're a murderer, when we're screaming rhetoric left and right, she was pointing out,
Megan, there were a lot of people.
She was pointing out that yesterday that the sheriff took absolutely no culpability for 39 people reporting this student. The one thing, the revisionist history with Democrats right now, between 2009 and 2010, Democrats held the House, Senate, and the White House, and they didn't renew the federal assault weapons ban. So
they let it lapse, but in 2012, after Sandy Hook, President Obama tried everything, and the Republicans blocked it at every turn. The Republicans blocked it.
So here's what I have to say. This is my point.
Yeah.
I understand. I'm a gun owner.
I know you are.
You know? And I feel like I need to take a break because basically people are saying, we need you to choose our kids. You want us to choose your guns over our children. That's what's being presented to people now. Well, this is my opinion, and this is how I feel. And because there have been so many things dropped, like the woman whose son was severely with issue, who lived in a house full of guns. This kid had tons and tons of guns. You know, now you can blame it on the cops, you can blame it on everybody. But once you allow or don't take care of what you know could be an issue, when you know it can be an issue, it then becomes, okay, we have a problem. Because, you know, when you're looking at some of the things that this young man was, he was able to buy 7 rifles in the past. Now, he's 18. you know? So to me, I feel like, all right, that's kind of too many. At 18, I'm asking you to do lots of stuff. I'm asking you not to say yes to buying 7 guns. That's a flag to me.
Look, here's one of the problems is that depending on which side of this you're on, you decide, you cherry pick what solution. And nothing should be off the table. The mental issues should not be off the table. The, FBI did have lapses here. And most definitely, assault weapons ban should not be off the table. We need to stop, tiptoeing over that.
I want to say something that's a big issue for me. 2 quick things.
It's a big issue for all of us.
Colton, yes, I understand, but I'm the only NRA member sitting at the table, and Dana,
I live with one.
but I am a member, so there is a difference between living one and being a member. Colton Hobb, who's a 17-year-old ROTC student, went on TV. He helped shield students from gunfire. He said that CNN had originally asked him to write a speech and questions, and it ended up being scripted. He said, I don't think it's going to get anything accomplished. It's not going to ask the true questions, and the parents and teachers and students, and we have the clip.
CNN had originally asked me to write a speech and questions, and it ended up being all scripted. I don't think that it's going to get anything accomplished. It's not going to ask the true questions that all the parents and teachers and students have.
Here, the problem is simply, it's fine to be all of that. Damn it, there's a way to do this. And right now, parents and survivors are saying, we need your help. You can't just say, we're not changing anything. You can't just say, we're not going to do anything. That's what the NRA has said.
Let me rebut this. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm not saying, Megan, I'm not saying that you're saying that. I'm saying in the general picture, the NRA has to understand. Parents are saying there are too many ways for y'all to screw this up, and we've seen it.
But I want to talk about bump stocks. I want to talk about assault weapons.
I understand that.
But last night in that town hall, the crowd was cheering for the removal of all semi-assault weapons anywhere, which is a big difference between assault rifles and bump stocks. And again, great. We can have these kind of conversations.
Should we get rid of those?
An AR-15 is a completely different thing than a semi-assault rifle.
7,000 people there in a community that is raw from a crime that just cost 17 innocent lives. They are there and they are venting their emotions. That place was full of students. It was full of parents who've lost their children. You can't ask them to be you can't ask them to be restrained and to hold back their emotions. It's just too damn raw.
And
look,
yesterday I applauded the students who came on. I know they're emotional. I know they're raw. But I also know that Dana Lash is a friend of mine, and I felt like if we are going to have a respectful conversation between Second Amendment rights supporters and people who are on the complete opposite of it, we can't be yelling that you're a murderer at one another.
We'll be right back.
These are unusual.
Later, rules of attraction. Does it really matter who makes the first move in a relationship? The answer may surprise you. See this table right here? This is where you come to voice your view and where women come to speak their mind, hold nothing back, and we mean nothing.
You gotta be in the fight.
Now you're telling the truth, girl. This is where the hottest political exclusives happen.
If you're a Republican and you want to make news, come on this show.
Thank you. And that's why everyone's lining up to be here. And this February,
it's going to be huge.
What? With Tamar Braxton, Patton Oswalt, Heather Graham. Plus, It's a View flashback with Meredith. And get this, Cindy McCain, Megan's mom, is co-hosting right alongside her daughter for the first time. All this February, we're rocking this out. View Strong. I'm a nasty woman. She's nasty. On ABC.
Diabetes can be a daily struggle, even if you're trying your best. Along with diet and exercise, Once Daily 2JO may help you control your blood sugar. Get into a daily groove.
Let's go.